Hello everyone, my name is Marga Poston. I'm the Coastal Training Program Coordinator and the Assistant Manager here at the Grand Bay National Estuarine Research Reserve. And we're going to take you on a little tour today. So come on and let's go. So we just arrived at one of our water quality monitoring stations. The swamp coordinator, Kim Crespin, is going to talk a little bit about what we do here. She's also with Bree Andrews, our research assistant here at the reserve.
Hi, welcome. We are at the Bayou Heron Swamp Station, which is one of 4 water quality and nutrient monitoring stations that we have here at the reserve. SWAMP stands for System-Wide Monitoring Program. It's called that because each of the 29 National Estuarine Research Reserves implement this program using the same equipment and the same methodologies, so that not only can we monitor the environment in our own estuary, but we can compare that data to people from across the country. One of the core pieces of equipment that we use in our program is this oblong data logger called a data sonde, or sometimes referred to by the brand, which is YSI. This piece that I'm unscrewing is a guard because this goes under the water and we leave it for up to a month. It logs data every 15 minutes using these probes that are on it. And we don't want fish or crabs or waves even to hurt the probes, so they're covered by a guard. The things that we measure are water temperature, salinity, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, and pH. We change our data loggers every 4 weeks and sometimes every 2 weeks in summer, because when anything is in the water for an extended period of time, all of the life that is out there will start to grow on it. That's called biofouling, and it can make the probes and the body of the data logger itself very, very dirty. It will be covered in algae, barnacles, sometimes we'll get fish eggs. So we need to keep an eye on it, because if biofouling starts growing over the probes, that interferes with the readings and means that the data won't be as good.
While we're checking them and replacing them, we also bring out our YSI handheld, and that measures everything such as temperature, salinity, pH, except turbidity and depth. So this is the secchi disc, and this is the instrument that we use to measure water clarity. We reel this into the water until we can't tell the difference between the black and the white on the disc, and that is called secchi depth. And then we reel it all the way to the bottom, and that is called total depth.
Every research reserve in the system has at least 4 water quality sites that measure all of these things I mentioned every 15 minutes all year round, and at least 1 weather station to measure air temperature, rainfall, wind speed and direction, also every 15 minutes. We can use both of those streams of information to start figuring out how weather impacts and potential long-term changes in weather and climate are affecting our water quality as well. We have 2 data loggers for every station so that we can prepare one in the lab, have it nice and clean and ready to go, come out into the field, pull the old one, and then put the new one into the water for its 2 to 4 weeks. We download the data from the data loggers when we get back to the lab, but we also have 2 stations sending data every hour to a NOAA GOES satellite. Behind me on the station, you'll be able to see an antenna, just a silver rod with spokes coming off on multiple sides, and that's the antenna that sends the data up to NOAA's GOES satellite. So every hour you can see the latest readings. You can get those from the Centralized Data Management Office's website. There's even a version for your phone, nersdata.org/mobile. So if you want to go fishing out on the reserve, here in Bayou Heron or near Bangs Lake, and want to check the salinity or oxygen levels, you can do that in near real time. In addition to the water quality and weather measurements that are taken every 15 minutes, we go out every month and get water samples that we bring back to the lab so we can analyze them for certain nutrients. You can think of nutrients like vitamins. They are important to grow, they're important for the food chain, but if you have too much of any of them, you can get algae blooms and harmful impacts on the environment that you don't want to see. So that's another thing that we monitor with SWAMP. All of this is important not just because we're data nerds, but because we need to know what's happening in the estuary so that we can help protect it and keep it healthy for all of the critters that live there. Bree is with us today because she helps out with SWAMP a lot. And part of that is because her project works with animals that are very sensitive to water quality conditions.
So my job here at the reserve is research assistant, and my project is to test the feasibility of clam aquaculture at the estuary and along the Mississippi coast. And like Kim said, my project relies on the swamp stations, and we have 4 stations, and one of them is closer to my study site, and that's in Pointe-à-Pitre Bay. And we put it there because the salinity is much higher and the temperature is higher over there, but it's also prone to more biofouling. And they rely on higher salinities and higher temperatures to grow, and they're filter feeders, so the more algae in the water, the better. This is one of our clams that we had found at our shell midden recently. My clams that I study are not this large, but one can only hope that they get this big. Hopefully the biofouling isn't too bad and the clams could actually grow here and we can have a new aquaculture.
SWAMP was designed to both detect short-term variability, like you might see after a big rainfall. You would see salinity drop because you're getting all of this fresh water with no salt coming in to your system, but also long-term change. And we can look at these long-term trends to see how the things humans are doing around the waterways are potentially affecting the water itself.